Hello farmers and welcome back to Pallegney on Farming Simulator 25. We are watching, I don't know if it's Frank, Francesca, one of them. They're doing a hoeing contract in field number 33. Yes, that's the field we are in. I got two of the contracts done and also got our grass field, the newer grass field, double fertilized. And I returned that lovely little seeder slash roller. So looking at our fields, well, okay, we're here. Let's do the contracts first. Let me collect on the ones I got done. So I got a bale wrapping contract done for 4,801. I used the Deutz AgroStar, which we have leased, and our bale wrapper to do that. So let's go ahead and collect on that, which is nice to bring some cash in. And also, we just finished a hoeing contract. Oh, I can't. Yes, I can collect on this one. This is not the one I leased it on. This one pays 4,810. Let's collect on that. But while we're here, there is a plowing contract for 11,423. We're going to accept that. I'm going to use the Deutz AgroStar, but I'm going to need a plow. And, of course, that means I'm going to lease the Black Sheep modding plow, of course. Let's dive on into here. We'll get the 9-meter wide one, and we will lease that. Can I change the color for, like, a real cheap price? For 0, we're going to go pink, just because. We'll lease that for, yeah, $1,000. That's worth it, as far as I'm concerned, to get a contract for 11,000. Yes, let's go ahead and do that. I mean, yeah, I could use the plow that the contract comes with, but who wants to do that? So our little farmyard is kind of coming together. Yeah, so our grass field, if we look at our grass field here, soil composition, you can see our grass field here is double fertilized. Ignore this little spot here because that is where this is where the trees were, not where the other grass field was. So when I rolled it, I got one stage of fertilization. I may have to skip out on getting a second stage this time around. And this non-plowed area, that is where the BGA is and where our stack of bales are. So not really too concerned about the grass field here. And of course, our main grass field is double fertilized, and this is where the BGA was. So that's looking pretty darn good. Let's go get our plow, and we'll start plowing up that field. Oh yeah, and in case you missed the last episode, what's wrong with you? Go back and watch it. But we did buy, on the used section, a front mower. So that will save us some leasing fees when it comes time around to cut the grass, which is, well, every 2 months. And that would be August. August will be time to cut the grass again, and we're just about there. You know, yeah, it's repetitive, but right now for our farm, that is what we need to be doing to bring the money in. Grass fields, that's a good starting spot because, yeah, like I just said, you can mow the grass 4 times a year, and, you know, it's better than getting just like an arable field where you can put a crop in and harvest it 1 time per year. And getting all the equipment is a lot cheaper than getting yourself a harvester, a seed drill, because, you know, grass field, you don't have to replant unless you do it the way I did. And then, yeah, you do have to replant a little bit. Oh, yeah, also, people were asking me, have you gone to town yet to put the collectibles on a billboard? And it took me a long time to find the billboard. I actually had to look it up. But if I go to, I guess I got to teleport to here. You don't actually have to put the collectibles on the billboard. They actually show up on the billboard. So let's hop up here. So this is where, if you don't have a home or whatever, this is your starting point up here at the church, is it? I think it's a church. Looks like a church. Yeah, so we come down around here. And I didn't even know this little area was back here. I mean, I knew there was something back here, but I didn't know what it was. Kind of like a little bit of a playground area. Hey, look at that. A toy maker. I wonder if that's one I made. But here is where the collectibles go. And I think we found 3, and there they are. Right? I found 3 of them. Stats. Yeah, 3 out of 7. So there are 3. Now, on the collectibles, because someone else told me, they didn't tell me where it was on the map. But they did say it's underneath a passing bridge. And while the contracts were going on just a little while ago, I did a little bit of roaming around, and I did find it. I don't know if it's the one they're talking about, but I found one. And it's actually underneath the bridge that we're about to go over. Should I collect it? I mean, I know where it is. So I might as well go collect it, right? So we're going to go ahead and collect it. Getting money early on is nice. I may need it. You never know what's going to pop up for sale. So we're going and collect it. Like I said, I don't really want hints of exactly where they are. But I mean, if you give me just something like, oh, it's on a, I don't know, well, like this person said, it's under a bridge. And here it is. I wonder how much this one's going to pay. 5,000. So, I mean, it's not, you know, not that great, but it is something. All right, where am I going for this plowing contract here? Okay, so over here. And we'll start plowing this up. I would like to find a plow like this on the sale page because plowing contracts do pay rather well. And of course, the Black Sheep Mining plow is a nice one to use, good working width, and it doesn't require that much horsepower to use it. Do I need it for my own fields? Not so much, but definitely would not mind having it to do the bigger fields in this side of the map. Well, actually, there's some pretty good sized fields on the other side of the map also. Yep, right through the power lines, because why wouldn't you? I feel like I've plowed this field before. Yeah, so by the time we get done with these two contracts, let's see, it's going to put me up somewhere around 30. Yeah, we're going to be somewhere around $40,000 in the bank account. Now, of course, we got our silage bales that we did last time. Those will not be fermented for a couple more months. So I'm not going to see the benefit for those until, let's see, August, not until September. I'm hoping to get about $50,000 from putting those bales into our BGA and getting that processed. I do like the location of our BGA from where it was before. I think it fits in there rather nicely. I do need to do some landscaping around it because I just plop it in the grass field. Well, I say I put it down in the grass field, as I mentioned last episode. I remember in FS22 where I could rotate the building. I was trying to figure out how to do it in 25. And I think I hit the Q key on the keyboard because I figured Q and E will rotate, and it just like kicked me right out of construction. And the BGA moved and didn't charge me for moving it. And I was like, well, this kind of place not in a bad spot. We'll leave it there. So we moved the BGA for free. Like I said, kind of. I also felt like I got gypped on delivering some logs at that one time. So I feel like we're even Steven. Yeah, so this is why I went with a 9-meter wide plow, not the 12, because the AgroStar, yeah, it's I don't want to say at its limit. And yes, I do know that we can rotate the plow around, and basically there'll be no restrictions on how fast we can go. Well, fast as the tractor can go, basically. But that's not what we're going to do here. So we're down to 3 more collectibles. You know, I'm not really going around looking at the map for them. Occasionally someone will message me on Discord or they'll leave a comment in a video and saying another one can be found, like that one said, underneath the bridge. So it's kind of hard. Like I said, I always read the comments. I always try to reply to messages on Discord. And it's kind of hard once you read something not to see it in your memory. So once someone told me there was one underneath the bridge, it's like, while it's in my mind now, I might as well go look for it, right? So I did. And I found it. The one thing I am liking is these collectibles are not paying that much. They're nice. They're nice to go out and find, but they're not breaking the bank either. I can see why this contract pays 11 grand now. I didn't think it was going to be as big as a field as it is. Still getting used to the map a little bit. I mean, I do know my way around somewhat to not have to look at the map constantly to figure out where I need to go. But to get used to the size of the fields a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of hard going from fresh stocks 4 times map onto this one because the PDA is kind of misleading sometimes. I'm used to the fresh stocks map, looking at those fields, I'm like, oh, that field's not that big on fresh stocks. And I get there, and it's like 5 times as big as this one. But we'll finish with this one up in no time. Then we'll probably fast forward time, see what kind of contracts come up. Keep our eye on the store page. What would be really good to match our front mower is to get the butterfly mower. And if I can get the butterfly mower, the matching mower for the front one, that will put it into a swath, and then I can just get the baler without the windrower on it. It'll be a lot cheaper to rent. Now, someone did mention in the comments in the last episode, and also told me in the stream today, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I could put the front mower, well, on the front, and just get a baler for the back and get everything done in one pass. I'm not sure the AgroStar has the power to run both. It may do. And I'm not talking about the baler with the windrower on it. We just get a regular standard baler without the windrower. And that may save on the horsepower requirement. So we'll have to see what we do in the month of August. But I'd kind of rather not get into cutting our grass this episode, because I did a lot of grass work the previous two. So even if we do get the month of August today, we'll probably look at some contracts before we get to cutting the grass fields, and probably the following episode, the next episode. Well, there is headland number 1 done. Let me go ahead and collect on that contract that we have finished. So that was $33.74. That was leased. Actually, before I return it, has another hoeing contract come up. There is one here. So I might as well go ahead. I mean, I got it leased, right? So I might as well go ahead and we'll accept that contract. Let's teleport to that right there. Fold it up. And pretty much it's right next to the field I just did. Is it not? No, it is not next to the field I just did. Okay. I was looking at the wrong field. Alright, so I know where I'm roughly going. Back over this bridge. I'm starting to feel a little bit more at home on the map. It's taken me a while to kind of, I don't want to say get used to it, but I'm warming up to it. When I first got here, it's like, yeah, it's a decent, it's a nice looking map, but I didn't feel like it was fitting me too well. But now that I got my grass fields, we got our doormat down, our little home, our home away from home, because we don't really have one, and we got ourselves a BGA, and the series is slowly picking up pace. I'm starting to feel, I'm warming up to it. Actually, we'll just cut right across this field here. And again, as for what are my future plans for our farm here, and I really don't have an idea. It's pretty much whatever the sale page brings us. If there's a good deal on something, then that's probably the direction we'll head. Not too sure. I mean, I got some ideas, but we got to roll in some money and see if we can get where I would like to go. But right now, where I would like to go is I would like to go from one end of this field to the other to get this plowing contract done so we can collect our 10 grand. And by then, the other hoeing contract should be done. And yeah, we can probably advance through the month slowly. Well, I say slowly. We'll speed up time and keep our eye on the contract page. But let's go ahead and get this plowing contract done. Well, the hoeing contract that just completed just a few seconds ago. We are 91% done. Just noticed we are getting close to putting another hour on the Deutz. So I think that'll take about a couple $1,000s out of our bank account because, well, got to pay for every hour. And probably what I'm going to do, even if we are done with the month of July here, I think I'll keep the AgroStar on the farm, and I'll probably keep the plow on the farm as well. I will have to pay an overnight fee, but since I'm going to be cutting the grass in the month of August on our farm, I'm going to need the AgroStar again, and since I'm going to be going over the hour here very soon, and I got like another hour I could use on it before I have to pay again, I might as well go ahead and keep it, rather than having to pay all the initial leasing fees. And yeah, I'm going to keep the plow as well. That was $1,000 to lease it, so I'm guessing the overnight fee is going to be very cheap. And since we are kind of like, you know, starting up the harvest season, there might be a good chance that, you know, fields are harvested and they're going to need to be plowed. So might as well keep both. That's the only two things that got leased. We can lease up to 5 items. And someone did ask, when will I reduce the amount of items I can lease? Probably not for a while. At least we got to get ourselves a tractor on the farm, because that's the main thing. So when I feel like the time is about right, that's when we'll go ahead and reduce how many items we can have leased at a time. Kind of hoping I can get this contract done by going down and getting to the end of this row, because I haven't been too careful about being on the edge of where I plowed and have not plowed. Yeah, looks like we dropped about almost $2,000 for going over the hour on the tractor. That's fine. I'll put most of the hours, I say most of the hours, a total of 3 hours I've put in this tractor so far. I think more than half of it was taking care of our grass field. That is the contract complete. So let's go ahead and fold that up. Look, I might as well look to see if any of the hoeing contracts have come up in that short time span, and no, they have not. There are some mowing contracts, which I do have a mower, but none of them are paying that well. And our harvesting contracts are coming up, but of course, veggie harvesting, not too interested in doing. And fertilizing, if I had my fertilizer spreader, maybe I would. And yeah, bale wrapping and baling, well, that's not going to work out for us anyways. So the plowing, we can collect on that, $11,423. That is a nice payday. And then $33.74 for that hoeing contract. And then $36.70 for that hoeing contract, which brings us up to just shy of $45,000 in the bank account. Was there any other plowing contract that came up in that short time? I looked for hoeing, but I don't think there was a plowing contract. No. All right, so let's go back to the farm. And I'll probably just check on the store. Then I'll speed up time, see if anything else pops up. Like really good paying contracts. I may just drive right across the river, because why not? You know what, I'll try. You know what, let's not drive across the river, because we're kind of new here. I don't want to upset the people at Pallegney for driving through the rivers. So we'll take the bridges. Scooch right across here. And this is my turn to the left. Yeah, as for, because someone else did ask, what am I going to spend money on next? And it all depends. Like I said, the used store is determining where we go from here early on. Buy more land? Well, you know, that's always a possibility. If I were, I think I would right now have to keep it as grass fields, because, you know, get more bang for our buck. Sale page, what's in there? Well, nothing. I mean, basically, the only thing I would really love to see for sale would be the matching mower. And I don't know how much that goes for brand new. 70,000? Yeah, 70,000. So if we can, you know, usually I would say average is like 50% off when you find it for sale. So that'd be like 35,000. That would be something I could afford, and that would be nice. It does require 220 horsepower. And that would be pushing the Deutz to the limits, having a mower on the back and the front. So, yeah, we shall see. Let me fast forward time here. And like I said, we'll keep my eye on the contract page. Plowing contracts mostly is what I'll be looking for. But yeah, I will double check throughout this day. And if nothing shows up, well, I'll see you in the morning of August, and we'll go from there. Well, it is morning, and it looks like I paid about $1,100 for overnight fees on the Deutz and the plow. So, yeah, no good-looking contracts were available. But ooh, what is harvesting for $21,000? That's got to be a veggie harvest. It is for peas, but $21,000. Oh boy! If it wasn't peas, because this harvester fills up so darn quick, I might have a second look at it. But that's a veggie harvest. Spraying, wood transport. So no contracts per se that I'm interested in. Sale page, a case Puma for $91,000. Ouch. It does have 46 hours on it, though. A Volvo truck, but I mean, even if I had the money, I would have to pass on that because that is just something we don't really need right now. Case Puma is a nice tractor. What horsepower is in it? A 224. So it's not that much better than the Deutz. What is the Deutz? I think the Deutz is the 220. I keep saying 220. Medium tractor. AgroStar is a 230. Yeah. So yeah, our grass field's ready, but like I said, I don't want to do any grass work in our field today. So I'm going to fast forward time here, and we'll keep our eye on contracts, and fingers crossed, maybe a plowing contract. Boy, that pea harvesting contract for $21,000 just staring me right in the face, teasing me a little bit. Oh, a lot of veggie contracts coming up. There's a mowing contract. Let's see if I can find anything interesting as the day progresses. Well, almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I got a cultivating contract I took on for field 76. Where is field 76? Oh, that's a big field. That's a pretty big field. I mean, that's why it pays well. Where actually is it? I don't think I've done work in that field. So we're going to go ahead and do that. As for other contracts, nothing is jumping out of the screen at me. And the sale page is pretty much the same. The Puma Connect is still there. But let's hop into our borrowed items. It'll probably take a while. I thought about doing a harvesting contract as well while this was going on. Not peas, because like I said, the pea contract, I would have to pretty much babysit that harvester. That's about the only... Well, there's a couple downsides with that pea harvester, but let's not get into that. But yeah, only being able to hold 4,000 liters of peas, I'd be there like every 2 minutes unloading it. So it'd be kind of hard for me to do other contracts while that one's going on. I mean, I suppose... Hello, light post. I suppose you could say, well, you do the pea contract and let workers do the other one. I'm really not interested in doing the pea harvesting contract myself, so I'll pass on that. There is a sorghum harvesting contract that's out there, but it pays $7,500, which is not bad, but then I'll have to borrow the items, and that's like $1,800, so that brings the contract down to like less than $6,000 for doing it. It is for sorghum. I would get paid for the extra sorghum, but yeah, I just don't feel like it's quite worth what I want to be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get this, we're going to get started on this cultivating contract. I probably won't finish it this episode, but we'll make some passes on it. And what I'll probably do is run at the back of this car for cutting me off like that. But we'll get most of this cultivating contract done. And then probably a little bit between episodes, I'll hire a worker for this, and maybe I will at least get started on cutting the grass in our grass field. This should be it, I'm thinking. Yes, it is. Oh, that case Puma, though, is nice to see on the sale page, but there's just a couple things. I mean, I could always upgrade the engine. There's not a rule that says the stuff I get from the used page, I have to keep it as is. We can just buy it from the used section, and then we can do any upgrades on it that we see needed and fit. So I could always put a bigger engine into that. Of course, that expense would be kind of high, I'm sure. But I don't like the 43 hours on it. But I am running the mod that reduces how fast things wear down. So unlike on Riverbend, where when my tractors got 40 hours on it, we were trading them in because they would just wear down so darn quick. I got the wear down on the tractors at 50%, and on fresh stocks it seems like it's acting more than 50%. It seems like they're not wearing down hardly at all. So the hour's not that much of a concern, but I would like to see something less. But yeah, I still am like not even halfway there to be able to afford that tractor. Probably next month in September, when our silage bales have fermented and I put those to the BGA, I would have enough money to get a tractor. Again, having a tractor would be really nice on the farm for many reasons. I mean, you can't farm without a tractor, and not having at least one every month would be nice. But if it's still there, maybe we'll have a look at it. But right now, it's in the way back of the cabinet, that case. It's way back there. We'll have a look at it once I have enough money. If it's still there, then I'll probably hem and haw over it a little bit more. But I don't know if I mentioned, but this contract pays like probably after I lease the equipment, probably like 10 grand. So it's a decent paying contract. And yeah, probably will. I don't know. I'm starting to figure out when I cut that grass, so I still want to lease the baler with a windrower on it. That's a big expense for leasing it. It works good though. Works really good. But not having to, I think I was spending like $5,000 leasing a mower. So that's definitely going to help out in our profits, not having to lease a mower. I think 3 Helens will be good enough for the worker to get the rest of the field done. As we all know, the workers, AI workers at least, the Helens, they take a while to get those done, but once they get those done, they move along pretty quick. So I'm hoping by me doing the 3 Helens, it will get the job done at a relatively good pace. Then we'll go grab the AgroStar. I think we'll go ahead and I will cut one of the grass fields to do the smaller one with our new front mower. And of course, every time I say my new front mower or new whatever, it's new to us. Because yeah, I can't really buy anything new. So once I get down to this other side of the field, I'll hire a worker to finish this off. It says I'm 42% done, and I might be at this point. It's kind of a shame that the train is shuddering along like that. Not sure what Giants did to break the train. I think it was in patch 1.5 where the issues started creeping up with the train, where people said they can't lease it or whatever. I haven't had to lease a train since Riverbend, so I'm not, I haven't had a chance to try to experience the problems with the train. And I don't have a train on fresh stocks at all, so I don't know if the shuttering is one of the issues as well with it. Alright, so let's go ahead and hire ourselves a worker to finish this off from here on out. And we'll just let them do what they need to do. Let's teleport to our our AgroStar, our leased one. So right now I just got 2 leased items, which is the plow and the AgroStar. Again, I'm just keeping the plow around a little bit because you never know. If I need to return it, then I will. So the grass field that we're headed to, I've cut it once, and the first time we bought it, the yield was like 65%, something like that, and now I do believe it's at 97%. Most of it, not where the trees works. I could have put some slurry down, sorry, not slurry, but digestate from our BGA. Yeah, the yield is, okay, it's 95%. I thought it was going to be 97, but it's 95%. I mean, it's still not too bad. So yeah, not as wide as the mower that we were leasing before, but you know what? I just saved myself $5,000 for not having to lease one. And since our fields are not extremely huge, it's not going to take me that long to get these fields cut. And that's going to be our storage area for our bales. I did expand on this field just a tad over here by these trees. Kind of interesting that I can't buy the lot of land that those trees are on. Because I wouldn't mind buying it, cutting down the trees, selling them, and expanding this grass field. So yeah, it all depends on how long that case tractor sits there. I don't think that case tractor for sale is going to sit there all the way through next month. But that's probably when I would have the money to be able to afford that tractor for what it's going for. But, you know, we all expect the tractor probably to be gone by then. And, yeah, maybe with the money we bring in from the BGA next month, maybe we will look at another grass field, because the more grass fields I have right now, the more I'll profit off from what we're doing. And in the future, I could always, you know, once we get a true farm going, meaning, you know, like a seeder or a planter and a harvester of whatever we decide to do, we could always take these grass fields and convert them over to a crop that we can plant and do whatever. If I were to do any type of animals on this map, I thought about doing sheep. Because, well, sheep just need grass, and, well, we got grass, so we can manage that. But I might actually switch that over to possibly doing goats. Only because the statue of the goat. So I'm thinking maybe goats on this map. And they, too, also just need hay or grass. Then, of course, I get myself a dairy, and, of course, with goats, as we saw on Riverbend, goat cheese, we can make a lot of goat cheese and make a lot of profit off from the goat cheese. But that's a ways down the road. Quite a ways down the road. Yeah, I wonder how much cheaper it would be to lease a baler without the windrower on it, because that is costing me $10,000 every time I lease that baler. It's a nice little setup, but I'm thinking maybe if the regular baler is like half the price, it's probably be better to do it, and I can profit more off our grass. Let me go ahead and have a look at balers here. There we go. And if I were to get something, so how much would it be to lease this baler here? Okay, that's still $8,412 to lease that. When, oh yeah, so it's not that much more for the windrower. So it's like $1,000 more. So yeah, I would just rather do that. Yeah. Alright, so I guess I'm still going to lease the baler with the windrower. For $1,000 more, may as well. I thought I was going to save myself a whole bunch of cash there for it, but I guess not. And I just don't think, even with that setup, like someone, I think it was Mr. Ulrich that left a comment and told me in the stream that it'd be nice to put a baler on back. I'm just not sure that this Deutz can handle both a front mower and a baler running at the same time. It might do. And this time when I fertilize the fields after we get all picked up, we'll definitely be using the digestate from the BGA. We do have ourselves a slurry spreader that we own. I should buy myself, I think I got the mod installed here, but the toolbox mod came out a while ago, maybe a week ago or so. And the toolbox is very cheap, it's like 200 bucks. I should put that down and maybe fix like my mower and my slurry spreader. Not that it's, I don't think, causing me to go at a slower pace. So yeah, once, you know, next episode, that cultivating contract will be done. Like I said, it's going to pay us like 10,000 plus. So we should be sitting somewhere around $55,000. Well, basically that contract's going to pay for the baler I got a lease. And I don't think I'll go over the hour on the Deutz again. But it's kind of hard to tell if the yield is looking that much better. I mean, it should be. We've gone from like 65% to 95%. But looking at the swath, it's kind of hard to tell. Because the other mower kind of, I mean, this is kind of putting it into a swath with a front mower. And the other mower I used kind of did it widespread. And right here is where the trees used to be. And of course, this grass will pay off. Let's see, it's going to be 3 months from now, so that'll be September, October, in November, when this grass will then have fermented, and I can put that into the BGA. I guess ideally, the next, if I were to buy another field and save up for a field, if nothing comes up in the youth section, the grass field right across the other side of these trees would be the best. Try to keep it all localized. But I think all the other grass fields on this map would be like this one, where it needs to be plowed and lime spread. So it would need a lot of work. It might actually even be better if I just, instead of looking at grass fields, let's look at other fields around this area that don't require to be plowed or limed. And I would just have to like lease a seed drill and plant the grass into it. Because I mean, if I gotta plow a field, that means I gotta replant the grass anyways. Let's have a look here in just a moment and see what fields around us. Like I said, kind of planned if I don't spend the money on something in the used section. I mean, once I get up to $100,000, it might be wise to buy another field and put more grass in. So, yeah, this field here, how much does that go for? Ooh, 168. But okay, so that does not need to be... Okay, so that does not need to be plowed or lime spread. All right, then. I mean, that is 168,000. How much is this field behind me? 206. Yeah, I'm trying to keep the farm somewhat localized. Yeah, I wish I could buy the woods here. But, yeah, we cannot do that. So, I mean, that's fine. We'll find a way around it. This is a grass field over here, but you can see that it needs to be plowed and does need to be limed also. See, I mean, 168. Well, I don't think I'll be able to afford it this year, but if we keep doing good contracts, And if nothing comes up for sale in the used section, we can definitely expand our grass farm, as I probably should call it. So I'll get the rest. I'll get this grass field cut in between episodes, and the cultivating contract should be done, and we can start next episode by baling this on up, and then of course we'll wrap it, and then we'll get the bales out the field, and then have to slurry spread it. Maybe while we're working on our grass field, we'll go ahead and get some contracts going, and just hopefully we can get to also to September next episode, which I think we should be able to. And that way we can put our bales into the BGA and see the money, I don't want to say pour on in, but it'll be coming in at a pretty good pace. But yeah, I think this is where we're going to wrap it up for today. Appreciate everyone that made it all the way through the entire episode. If you want to help me out, hitting that thumbs up button at the bottom of the screen does wonders. Thumbs down button's there as well. You can hit that if you like to, but if you do hit the thumbs down button, leave me a comment as to why, so I can make the videos more to your liking. And if you're new here, you might want to think about hitting that subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on more content like this. But that's going to wrap it up for today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Pallegney. But until then, have a good one.